book buying ban. So I was just on a book buying ban and I was successful. I lasted for quite a long time. I lasted for 95 days, which is both really awesome and kind of disappointing because I only realized now that it was 95 days. I finished like on the 28th of May, I think. And if I had just gone for 5 more days, it would have been my 100-day book buying ban. And it would have been so awesome. Not really that awesome because it's just 5 more days, but it's 100. Before I started my book buying ban, I had kind of a negative view of them. I kind of saw them as ephemeral and transient and something that didn't really help in the long term. I just saw them like that. They were just, not for me. And so, you might be surprised as to why did you go on a book buying ban, Dylan, if you thought all of those things. So I'm going to tell you the 3 reasons that I went on a book buying ban. Number 1 is that I wanted to get out of the cycle that I was in. I was in a really bad cycle with my books where every month I would buy, let's say, 6 books. And I would read 4 of those books. And those would be like all of the books I would read that month. Like I would read 4 books a month, buy 6 books. And so every month I would buy 6 books, read 4 of them, there'd be 2 left behind. The next month would come around, I would buy 6 books, read 4 of them, and there'd be 2 left behind. And each month there were these 2 books that were not being read and they were new, and that's not even considering the rest of my books. Like, for a long time, I felt like I was just reading new books only, and all the books that I had weren't being read at all. And, I tried to stop doing this by like reading some of my older books that I didn't have, or some of the new books that were being left behind, like the 2 that I wasn't getting to. But it just didn't work because there would be new books in the mail and I'd be like, I have to read you first, even though I didn't really need to, and even though I wanted to not read them. I have no self-control. But yeah, so that was the cycle that I was in. I didn't like that because I felt like I was just leaving books behind. I was being rude. I was like, you're new and shiny and I like you better, and I didn't want to be that focused on the looks, and I wanted to be more focused on what's on the inside. That's strange. It makes sense, right? It was a bad cycle and I wanted to get out of it, and I did. I'm now out of that cycle. I've read lots of books that I already own, and I have not read any of the books. I've bought 4 books recently and I haven't read any of them. I'm focusing on the books I have because they need some love too. The second reason was to test myself. I have been on lots of diets before, and I do lots of things like that where you don't eat for a day, or you only have water for a day, or you go on a diet, or you only eat fruit and vegetables for a week, or detoxes. Like, I've done lots of stuff like that. And it's not to lose weight or anything like that. It's just basically because I want to test myself, because I want to see if I can last without this thing, if this thing is really important. Like, I have gone a week without television. It was a bad week. Like, not even like computer television, like watching episodes on my computer. No TV shows at all. No movies either. Just, it was so, I didn't, like, you'd think that I would get like productive and like, spend that time with my family. No, I just spent it thinking about the fact that I wasn't allowed to watch TV for a week. So that's beside the point. But yeah, I wanted to test myself to see if I could stop buying books, because I had been, like, every month I had been buying books, and before BookTube I had never bought books, and I just felt like I was just almost addicted to just buying them, not even reading the books. I love reading books, but I was buying the books. Just like half of the reason I was buying books was because I felt amazing when I bought them, when I would go to a store and buy them, and also when I would get them in the mail. It was just like, oh my gosh, books. But yes, I wanted to test myself, and that was reason number 2. Reason number 3, I wanted to have a bookshelf that was filled with not only pretty books, but to also have a bookshelf filled with memories and stories. This is the most important reason, I think, out of the reasons that I've given. When I look at my bookshelf, I want to see all the pretty books, and, I want to see them all positioned nicely, and, if you've seen my bookshelf tour, then you would know that my books are always just in great condition, and they're always, like, arranged, and I spend a lot of time, like, putting my books in to my bookshelf, like, in the right place. Like, if I get new books, they don't go into my bookshelf straight away, and then when I decide to put them in, I rearrange all of my books on my bookshelf so that everything fits in perfectly. I am one of those people. But yeah, I didn't just want my bookshelf to be this pretty thing that brightened my room and made it better. I also wanted it to be a place where I could look at it and see the different stories that I'd read, and also, you know, kind of remember periods of my life, because I sometimes, for some of my books, remember things that have happened to me through the stories that I've read at the time, and that's one of the things I really like about books. And I didn't want to be looking at my bookshelf and just be, you know, oh, that's pretty. I wanted to also, more importantly, for me at least, to be looking at it and seeing my life and seeing stories that I've loved at certain points, and to be seeing the stories that have just changed me in certain ways, or the stories that I will never forget. And so that's what I wanted my bookshelf to be, and I wasn't doing that because I was, you know, I wasn't reading the books there. I was reading all these new books, and then there were all these books that were not being read. So I wanted to get to them and have them, you know, be a memory for me, be significant to me, and not just be a pretty cover. So yes, those are the reasons I went on my book buying ban. I don't really have any tips for you. It was kind of almost easy for me, which is kind of strange. I did get my parents to buy me 2 books while I was on my book buying ban. That's not cheating, right? Because I didn't buy them, my parents did, so that's fine. But other than that, I got no books during that period, and yeah, I don't know, it was kind of okay. I was just like, you know what, Dylan, you're not buying books. I had like self-control that came out of nowhere. So yeah, that's all I really have to say. If you have any tips or tricks for book buying bans, or if you want to tell me the reasons that you go on book buying bans, whether it's to like save for something, or if you want to get to the books that you have, or you want there to be memories in your bookshelves and not just pretty covers, then tell me in the comment section below. And if you're on a book buying ban at the moment, good luck to you. I hope you succeed. I hope you're having a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.